What is yoga actually about? Yoga, the word actually means union. It's the same word origin as the word to yoke, to connect something to something else. So it means to become one with the universe, to become connected to the divine, to the God, to God, if you like, or to the infinite cosmic consciousness. The trouble is that a lot of yoga that we see today doesn't actually do this. So if we do yoga and we're just focusing on our body, exercising our body, then we are not necessarily actually creating a spiritual upliftment of the body, a connection of our consciousness with the greater consciousness. And you can take that further, you can go a little bit deeper, and there are layers of the mind. So if we move beyond just working with the body, we start to work with body and mind. And we start to do yoga that is about being a good, effective person in the world. That's also a good thing, but it's not necessarily going to lead to this deep, deep connection. And so there are different kinds of yoga that deal with different levels of consciousness. Some gets a little bit even beyond the rational mind and beyond it just being good for that person and that person's body and that person's mind to actually become opening up the creative faculties. And so yoga becomes something that you're able to explore and express yourself with and find something beautiful and loving. Loving yourself, getting to know yourself, loving others, etc. If you take this a little bit further, you can get into inner peace, and there are some styles of yoga that get into inner peace. And you can move beyond this into kind of ecstatic experiences. So you'll get some yogic experiences that are about how loving is the world and how much I love everything that there is and how everything is love. But none of these actually deserve the term yoga, because yoga is uniting with the cosmic consciousness, becoming one with the divine, becoming God, becoming connected to and one with God. You see yourself as God and the universe as God and everything as God. So, of all of the styles of yoga that I see around, I don't see any popular tradition that I can say really creates this experience of oneness, this experience of connection with all things, and therefore really deserves the term yoga. It's not the physical postures that make yoga into yoga, it's the experience that it's creating inside your consciousness. The closest I've found is Anandamaga Yoga, which I find has the possibility of having this experience of oneness, even though a lot of people who do it do not actually get that experience. It's possible to do those techniques and create that experience. So I am working on trying to create methods and teach methods that allow people to have this really deep experience of yoga, that allow people to have this experience of oneness with all things. Now, mostly this is a really, really joyous experience. It's something that people find brings out their happiness and kind of takes all of your loneliness away, because there is no possibility of feeling sad and lonely when you're connected to all things. There is so much love, but it's not the love that you would normally think of and experience as love. It's a love that is so present that you just feel joy. But I have found a few people who find it kind of disturbing to connect with others, and they want to keep themselves separate, and they want to not become part of everything and unite with everything. They want to say, I am here, and there is somebody over here, and they are separate. If you want that, then what I'm working with and what I'm teaching is not going to be very comfortable for you. But if you would like to connect with all that is, and to connect with yourself, and to connect with others, and to connect with the whole universe, then these techniques might be really, really interesting and useful. The first technique that I like to teach is the very simple thing of Namaste or Namaskar. You put your hands together in prayer hands and touch your thumb to your third eye and the base of the palms to the heart chakra. And you remember that everything is divine, everything is pure loving consciousness. And so by doing this gesture, you help yourself to remember that I am divine, you are divine, we are all divine, and everything we do is divine. So if you simply add this to the beginning of your yoga session, it creates an intention to put your yoga with that feeling, and so creates a kind of deeper experience of the yoga throughout the session. So this is a very, very simple technique that can be a start of creating oneness yoga, a deeper experience of yoga, or perhaps authentic yoga, because the word yoga itself means oneness. And in fact, this technique can be done by itself. It's really quite an effective practice to simply sit down once or twice a day and do that namaskar and remember that everything is one, that everything is God, that everything is divine, and then to sit and feel that experience. Another element that I'd like to add into this is some techniques that are used to bring that experience deeper into the body as well. And so one of those techniques is the extension of energy, so that all of the yoga postures are about extending energy through particular points out into the universe, out into infinity. So if you're extending your fingers, there's a prana, chi, the force coming out through your fingers, and out into infinity. And if you're doing some other position that involves a stretch of the back, it might be extending from the back of the head or from the chest, etc. So different parts of extension. And another thing that is really good at creating that feeling is the yoga massage, where you actually massage your body after your yoga session and bring the energies that you're creating and the experiences and the healthy vitality back into the body. So the next session next live session I'll do a little bit about this massage and how it works. But we can start with a few simple techniques that can just help if you just put a little bit of that at the end of your yoga session. So you can massage your face, and through your hair, and down each arm, and we go the same down the chest, down the back, down the legs. And there's a very, very quick yoga massage session. There are much deeper, longer, more in-depth sessions that we'll do at some point. And then you lie down in corpse and relax for a little bit. And so if you put these Namaste and Namaskar at the beginning of your yoga session, and you put a little bit of massage at the end, and then you try to keep that feeling of uniting with all things, of connecting, then your yoga is going to be that much deeper and that much closer to the true meaning of the word yoga, the connection to all that is.